We go to the phone lines right now. We bring in a highly esteemed, prestigious gentleman by the name of Dr. William Shane Lee, medical doctor right here. He's a family medicine specialist out of Marion, Alabama, graduated with honors in medicine from the University of Alabama in 1987. More than 33 years of diverse experience in the medical field. But also, folks, this is a 2-star Major General in the U.S. Army. Dr. Lee, it is a joy. How are you doing today, sir? Hope you're doing well.
I am doing well. How are you today?
I cannot complain here, sir. Well, first and foremost, Dr. Lee, when you look at just the state of the world, of the country, of the nation right now with this global pandemic, the coronavirus, one of the first things that I've always kind of wanted to know is, chemically wise, is this an airborne thing? Is it a blood-borne virus? In the research that you've done and the experience that you have, what's kind of the chemical makeup of this virus, if you could speak to that?
Well, it's a coronavirus, so it's a little round virus. It's got little spikes on it, and it looks like a crown. That's what corona means. It's transmitted as an airborne virus, not unlike the flu or other upper respiratory conditions that we've dealt with in the past. The problem with this virus has been that it does not show the seasonal variations that the traditional flu viruses have. We all hoped, as providers, that once warm weather came, that the virus would slacken, and that's obviously not proven to be the case. If anything, the frequency of transmission and the number of positives have dramatically increased with the warming of the weather, which is quite paradoxical to everything we've ever studied on respiratory viruses in the past.
So when you look at just the journey to find maybe a particular cure or a treatment or a vaccine or any of those things, what in medical science, like what would go into making this treatment? Because as you mentioned, we were all thought to believe that by the summer, the heat, the elements in the weather would kind of burn it off, die it down, kill it off some. But with that not happening as the case, how does medical science go about trying to locate a vaccine or create a vaccine or find a treatment?
Well, there's literally billions of dollars being pumped into the vaccine industry now. The treatments, experimental is not the best term, but there's a variety of treatments available, a variety of protocols available depending on the severity of the illness of the patient. Not really any outpatient protocols. Most of the treatment protocols that are used when somebody gets sick enough to demand hospitalization. And usually that's a reflection of pending respiratory failure. They start not exchanging oxygen good in their lungs and having shortness of breath and get gradually sicker, and that's what puts somebody in the hospital. The ultimate treatment, of course, is ventilator support. They're using some antivirals, remdesivir is one, and they're using blood exchange products to try to strengthen the body's immune system. One of the ways this virus attacks the body is it weakens the immune system, and it also weakens our body's ability to clot blood, and that can result in damage to our organs, kidneys, lungs, brain. So it's although in general it can be a very mild virus for an otherwise healthy individual, it can also be a profoundly devastating virus, primarily for people that have chronic health problems, diabetes, heart disease, COPD, asthma, or morbid obesity. That tends to be the things that really make me concerned when I have a patient that's positive. But there are, which is even more concerning, there are anecdotal cases where you have otherwise healthy young adults get it with a relatively devastating impact. So it's nothing to be taken lightly. It is proven to be a very, very severe disease that, each week we hope that, okay, this is our spike. It's not going to get any worse. We're going to start seeing a downward trend. And so far, that's not been the case. The numbers continue to go up, and the risk continues to go up.
So we were, as people, we were instructed to not just practice social distancing, but also to wear the mask. So what was the original purpose or the reason behind keeping that mask on, wearing it at all times when you're out and about?
Well, when you call for sneeze, if you have the virus in your system, you're going to disperse that virus out. Also, if you smoke a cigarette and you have the virus, or you vape and you have the virus, and that fog that comes out when you smoke or vape, that's going to be viral laden. It's going to have virus in the particle. So the mask protects others from you if you have the virus, but it also protects you from others. So it's a two-way protection of a virus. And it's not foolproof. I mean, people that have been very conscientious about to wear the mask and social distancing still can get the infection, but it certainly minimizes the risk. And right now, it's the best imperfect tool we have out there to try to minimize the spread.
And as we look at this potential of trying to have a college football season, Dr. Lee, knowing that you are an avid college football fan, just from your expertise and what's been going on with the different cases and different programs, what do you see as realistic prospects of trying to have a season? I know a lot of these athletes have tested asymptomatic, not showing any symptoms, but realistically, what do you see as the prospects in trying to have a football season?
Well, I think at best you're going to see games with dramatically reduced stadium attendance. But that's still up in the air. And unfortunately, that's a big train, and once the train gets rolling, it's hard to stop. So they have to make decisions well in advance of the first game, the logistics of putting on producing a major college sporting event. It's not something you can shut down 2 days before the event. So I think we're getting close to the red line where they're going to have to make a decision one way or another. I would say certainly by the end of July, the 1st of August. A couple of weeks ago, I would have thought that with reasonable accommodations, people that didn't need to go because of health reasons not going, people wearing masks, I would have thought it would have been something that could be pulled off with an acceptable risk. But with the number of cases continuing to increase, I've got my reservations, and I hate it because I've got season tickets, got alumni parking. It's my wife and I's favorite thing to do, and we live and breathe it. But I think you've got a good chance of there not being a season at this point.
Gonna be a tough one there, Dr. Lee, if that happens right there. But folks, we are joined here by Dr. William Shane Lee, Doctor of Medicine out of Marion, Alabama, over 33 plus years of experience in diverse expertise in the medical field. Dr. Lee, as always, we appreciate you so much for coming on, taking time out of your day to spend with us here on the show. You take care, be safe, be good.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good evening.
You too. Got a chance to catch up with Dr. William Shane Lee. They're just talking about college football season, coronavirus, what are the prospects of potentially having a season, and just trying to find a cure, trying to craft a treatment, trying to craft a vaccine to combat this as quickly as we possibly can here in the United States. But we take another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're still talking Alabama football. So upon return, if you got your questions, your phone calls, your chats, your tweets, your thoughts, bring them in here. We're going to discuss it right after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.